I flirted with my bully once, and it took an unexpected turn. Okay, so this happened a few weeks ago, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I'm posting this here because I need to get it off my chest, and maybe get some advice on what I should do moving forward. Let me set the scene. I, 22 male, have been in college for a few years now. I wouldn't say I've had the easiest time socially, but I've always been more of a quiet, stay-to-myself kind of guy. There's this guy, let's call him Jake, 23 male, who's been a bit of a bully to me since high school. Nothing extreme, but he's always been the alpha type, mocking me, calling me names, and trying to put me down whenever he could. I never really knew how to stand up to him. Honestly, I just kept my head down and tried to avoid him as much as possible. Fast forward to this semester. I hadn't really had to deal with him much since high school, but we ended up in a few of the same classes. I honestly just figured I'd keep the same distance I always did, but then one day, something weird happened. It was in the middle of a class, and I was sitting in the back, minding my own business. Jake was sitting across from me, as usual, talking to his group of friends, probably making fun of someone else as he usually does. He threw a few comments my way, and for some reason, I didn't feel like just sitting there and taking it anymore. Maybe it was the fact that I was tired of being the punchline of every joke, or maybe I just wanted to see how he would react. But I decided to flirt with him. I know. Sounds weird, right? But hear me out. It wasn't like I was seriously trying to make a move. It was more like, let me mess with him and see what happens. I gave him a little smirk, caught his eye, and said, "You know, if you keep making fun of me like that, people might think you've got a crush on me." The whole room went dead silent. I wasn't sure if he was going to blow up or if he'd just laugh it off. But here's where it got weird. He didn't do either. Jake stared at me for a few seconds, and then he actually smiled. Like a genuine smile. Not one of those smug, arrogant smiles he usually does, but something different. He leaned forward and said, "What if I do?" I was completely caught off guard. My mind was like, what the hell just happened? I tried to play it off, but I was internally freaking out. I had no idea how to respond. I mean, this was Jake, my high school bully, the guy who had been making my life miserable for years. Was this some kind of joke? Was he messing with me? But instead of making fun of me like I expected, he kept talking. "I've always been curious about you, you know. You're different, quiet, but there's something about you." Now at this point, I'm beyond confused. I think I must have looked like a deer in headlights because my mind was racing. I'm literally sitting there thinking, is he seriously flirting with me right now? The class ended shortly after that, and Jake didn't make any more comments, but I could feel his eyes on me as I left the room. It was strange. For the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about what happened. I didn't know if I should confront him about it or just pretend like it was a fluke. But then, he started texting me. Yes, texting. The texts weren't anything too crazy at first, just some small talk asking if I wanted to study together or hang out. I honestly thought it was some kind of prank or that maybe he was just messing with me in a different way. But when I agreed to meet up and we had a decent conversation, it felt normal? Like, he wasn't the guy who used to taunt me in the hallways. I'm still processing it, and part of me feels like I might be getting played. But at the same time, he's been really nice lately. Almost like he's a completely different person. I don't know if I should keep hanging out with him or just stay cautious. What's the deal? Did he really change, or is he playing some long con on me?